guys, so first of two videos that I'm making today. By the end of today you guys are going to be so sick of me and I apologise for that, but I've got two different things to talk about, so I'm going to do it quickly. On Monday when I made my video I said that I would make the scan video with the two scans I was having this week once they were both done, and that was today. So I'm going to come first to you with the video about my scans. So yesterday, which is Wednesday, I had the 4D bonding scan, which is really, really awesome. It was Harrison's Father's Day present, and also just something that was really nice for me to have, because I had one with Dylan at 28 weeks, and so we just nipped in just before I turned 32 weeks, which was today, and got one just before the cut-off date, because they do them between 20 and 32 weeks, and so I had to have it before today. So yeah, we had the scan and it was really awesome. The setup, if you don't know, you go into the room, it's a trained midwife who, I actually know her, she is a midwife in my area, and she's also trained as a sonographer but not NHS qualified, and they do 30 to 45 minutes of just, looking at baby's heartbeat, looking at their body, their features, their face, answering any questions about what baby looks like, just watching baby move around and kind of in a way interacting with your baby in a way that you don't, especially dads don't get to do until they're born. And it was really awesome. We talked a bit about what she was like compared to Dylan, talked about her hair. Apparently the sonographer said that she has a ton of hair, like more hair than she'd seen on a 32-week-old baby for a very long time, so that's pretty awesome because babies with hair are great. And yeah, it was just really cool. Harrison was super stoked because he wasn't there for Dylan's, so yeah, and it was really bizarre because when I got home I whipped out the photos of Dylan's scan, and apart from like the fullness in their faces and their arms, because obviously there's 4 weeks different, and that's about 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds different in weight, which makes a big deal to a baby. They could be the same child. Looking closer you can see small differences. Her chin is a lot like mine. If you look at my profile you can see that my whole face is quite flat apart from my nose, whereas Dylan seems to have Harrison's chin and his chin is more pronounced. So she has the flatter chin, and also Dylan has a nose that's slightly flatter than mine. His nose is a lot like my younger sister's, whereas mine has a bit of a peak. It kind of goes up a bit more like here, like obviously not like a pig, but and her nose does that a bit more like a bit of a ski jump. You'll see in the pictures. But yeah, they literally could be the same child, which is crazy. So yeah, I'll show you the pictures. This is one, and another one, which were the best we could get of her full face because she was like this the whole time, which is really annoying. And this one's my favourite, like the proper profile of her. And I'm going to try and get a photo when she's born of her like that against me, because I just feel like that looks like a boob. It's actually my abdominal muscles, but it looks like a boob, so I'm going to try and get a shot to compare those two. And we have this one, which is, if you look on my Instagram or my blog, is the one I've compared to Dylan, so you can do a comparison between the two of them and what they look like. That was really bizarre, actually. It kind of hit me yesterday that I'm growing a human. I'm growing a human, and that's what she looks like. Because with Dylan, it was odd. Like, I had the scan, I was kind of like, I was so skeptical. I just thought that, like, when he was born, he wouldn't look like the image I got then. And he came out, and he did. Like, you could really tell it was him. And even now, 2 years on, you can look at the 28-week-old Dylan in my uterus and tell it's him. Like, you can see the similarities. But I didn't have that at all when I was pregnant with him, because I was just really skeptical about it, and I just thought it was something that was cool. And so this time I'm just like, oh my god, this is what my daughter looks like, this is her face, and she looks like my son, and I've grown both of them, and she's inside, and it was just really odd. And one thing that happened with Isla that didn't happen with Dylan is that she was opening her eyes. Now, at 28 weeks, when I had Dylan scans, babies don't open their eyes. The light sensitivity's there, but they can't blink yet. Whereas Isla was like opening her eyes and looking around, and I was like, oh, that's so cute. And then I was like, but it's pitch black in there. What is she looking at? It kind of just blew me away, and I'm still kind of like, this is really weird. This is really, really weird. But that was good, and they gave us the estimated weight range, and they said between about 3.8 and 4 pounds. And so I was kind of like, okay, 4 pounds, that's cool. I didn't really know anything. My baby app says 32 weeks is 3.8 pounds is the high end of it, which transpires to be wrong, but whatever. So yeah, we got that. And then today I had my growth scan at the hospital. So I'll show you the photo first because, yeah, this is the photo we got. She wasn't being very cooperative. Now, if you've had a scan, you can and maybe you can see what this is. It took Harrison a while. Even though he was there, it still took him a while to take the picture. This is her hand here. And this is her face, like frontal. So this is her forehead. The two black bits are eye sockets, and it's her nose. So it's kind of like a mixture between, like, think of a skeleton. Her mouth, which is like another black bit, and then her chin down here, and then her cheeks. And that's her body, and that right there is another hand just sneaking up. She was facing my back again. She always seems to be like this. So we got the photo, didn't pay for it like we should do. They gave me the tokens back to use next time. So hopefully when it's 36 weeks I'll get a proper photo. But so after my scan I was expecting to just pop over to my midwife and go see her. Because I haven't seen her since I almost went into labour because she was ill. So I saw her standing. But what they found was that my amniotic fluid index, AFI, is higher. It's increased since last time. I've got a little graph here. Yeah. It should still be around here, but it's gone up. And it shouldn't have done. And so basically what they explained to me is that amniotic fluid up until 28 weeks increases because it gives baby cushioning when they haven't got much fat and they don't need too much room to grow. After 28 weeks, it's supposed to stop increasing because that's when the period of rapid growth starts with babies. And obviously, there's only so much space inside any woman, let alone me. And if there's loads of fluid, then baby can't grow properly. So the fluid stops and then it decreases until you give birth, and it's done in centimetres. And I think by the time you give birth, you're supposed to have about between about 7 and 10 centimetres, which makes sense because at 28 weeks I had 13.7 centimetres and the deepest pool was 4.8. Now, it shouldn't have risen, and it shouldn't be now above 19, according to the sonographer and the midwives I talked to. Mine has gone up to 20.7 centimetres and the deepest pool was 6.2 centimetres. The normal range is 8 to 19 centimetres. So it's not massively high. It's not worryingly high. Oh, no, wait, sorry, 21.7. I'm reading it wrong. I'm reading the wrong bit. It's not massively high and it's not worryingly high. And she's still growing fine. She's pretty much above average everywhere. Head circumference, femur length, which is the overall length. Her weight is just below average. 4 pounds 1 was the official thing that they've given me today. But they just slightly worried that the fluid, the build-up, the fact that the fluid is increasing rather than decreasing could mean that although she's been growing fine now, the next 5 weeks it could stop before they induce me. And so, rather than go to my midwife, I end up in FAU, which is the fetal assessment unit. If you followed me last time, I pretty much lived in FAU last time. So, but they were looking at reasons why I could have this increase in fluid, and I also had loads of ketones when they did a urine sample, and so they're kind of slightly worried that I may have developed diabetes. So tomorrow I'm having the glucose test. I have to fast for 12 hours. I'm not allowed to eat from 8 o'clock tonight till I go in the morning, and then I do the glucose test where I just have a blood test, drink a sugary drink, wait 2 hours, have another blood test, and then I find out results on Monday. But yeah, there's a couple of complications that can come up from having too much fluid, and I'm kind of not really sure on. So I guess we have to find out whether it's diabetes which is causing it, which is another problem, or whether it's just an increase in fluid, in which case they have to monitor it or whatever. But yeah, that's what happened with the scans. Now, as far as the fluid goes, pardon me. As far as the fluid goes, I'm waiting for a call back from my midwife now, because one thing I learned from Dylan was the midwives in FAU are lovely, but they don't know my personal situation, and there's no point freaking out at them or asking them too many questions, because they just don't know, and they generalise a lot, because that's what you have to do when you're a general doctor. So I'm waiting until I talk to my midwife today. I'm seeing her next Thursday. I'm seeing my obstetrician next Friday. And when I see them, I'm probably going to get a proper idea of what we're going to do as far as the fluid is concerned. Because it seems like they're just saying, oh, well, you have another scan at 36 weeks. We'll check it then. But knowing my medical history and knowing my obstetrician and my midwife, they're probably going to book me some extra scans or some extra tests, because obviously I'm a high-risk pregnancy, which doesn't automatically flag on the general midwifery units system. So, yeah. But I'm trying not to worry too much, because obviously it's Father's Day this weekend, and apart from the glucose test, which is tomorrow, I don't actually get any results for anything until Monday. So I'm trying not to worry too much, because I don't need extra stress. But yeah, so there are my scans. And at least the bright spark of my week was having the 4D scan, because that was really awesome. So yeah, I will update you guys once. I'll probably update my blog because I haven't updated the blog with this yet. So I'm going to update my blog with that after I've talked to my midwife, because I left her a message and I'm waiting for her to get back to me. Like, as usual, she always takes ages to get back to me. So I'll update the blog with the outcome of that. And hopefully by my next video I'll have some more info about stuff, and I'll have some test results back. And if not, then I'll make another update about that kind of stuff next week or the week after, when I know. So yeah. So that was my scans.